I think we're good to go.
Everyone
Let
thinks because
me
you're a zombie,
that
you don't
button.
know good
Okay.
coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
You're watching Janner's Haunted Secrets
on the Outline Network.
What they say.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's a secret sound heading deep within the center of the earth. Until you listen closely enough, you can hear it. And it sounds like razors through flesh. We are merely here to turn up the volume.
And welcome to Chainer's Haunting Secrets. I'm glad we're back. And once again, we're going to start getting into the convention season, but we're going to talk about the Ohio Haunters Convention, which is really turning out to be a wonderful convention. A lot of surprises are coming up. And today we have Keith, which is also one of the board members on the Ohio Haunters Association. Keith, welcome to the show. And tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll start digging into this wonderful talk about the convention.
I can't hear you.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Let's see here. See if anybody else is having problems hearing me. Well, Friday, can you hear me?
Yeah. What happened?
I can't hear you.
I don't know. Let us try something with Keith here. Boop. Is that any better? All right. Well, Keith, I don't know if you want to try jumping out. It's always great to be live, but not when it doesn't work right. So give us a sec here as we're trying to get. Let's see if we can get Keith to jump out and then have him jump right back in. Okay. Let's see if he can jump back in, and we'll pop him back in here. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a wonderful show if we ain't got Keith being able. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
So two people can
hear.
This
show is just not going well.
No kidding. Okay.
Can you see me? Can you see me?
I can see you and I can hear you.
I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Since we're playing cell phone and who's got better reception than who today, once again, this is Keith. He's part of the Ohio Haunters Association. board of directors, and I'm very glad that he is here tonight. Um, so, what we're going to do, Keith, give us a little small idea of who you are and what you've done in the past, and then we'll start doing this conversation about the convention.
Okay. Keith Newsom. I've been in the high industry a little over 25 years. Started when I was 16 doing makeup. Uh, then got into other venues, but then in 2000 I joined Terra Park with Kelly Collins. Joined in as a makeup artist and as an actor. Then later on, we come to the Scaratorium. I became operations manager, chief makeup artist, trainer, airbrush artist, makeup body painter. Went from that into the Midwest Hunters Convention, and I helped run that. I helped the body art show there and helped load in and helped out with all the logistics of getting people in and out of the place and just the whole situation up until we sold the Trans World. From that, I joined multiple haunts, created a few, and then I joined up with the Ohio Hunters Association, and I've been with them for probably 8 years now, I think. And so it's just from that to here. And then when we decided to do this convention, I'm a big fan of education. So I've done a lot of classes myself. I've taught at many haunts. I've taught at many conventions, Transworld, MHC, HauntCon, a few others. But it's just something I enjoy doing. So I always make sure that when I'm teaching, like I was saying earlier, I've been doing this so long that I try to teach as much as I can, as quick as I can. And sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, but that's why I tell everybody when I'm done, I'll give you my email. So that way at any time, if you take my class, I'm yours for the rest of however long you need me. So I still have people take me up on that. They call from Wisconsin, New York, and California, all kinds of places. So it's a cool thing to be able to be a teacher. And I trust that when we get instructors in, I will make sure there's something I found at other conventions that I'm not real happy about is when they go in, they'll do an infomercial and they're not really teaching anything. They just kind of give you the knickknacks. We made sure that this year that when we're doing at our show, that I've talked to all the instructors and I said, we don't want any kind of info. We're not here to sell anything. We're paying you to come in to teach what you know. And so I think we weeded out a few people. We got some pretty decent instructors. We're only having classes one every hour and 15 minutes. So they have 15 minutes of tear down, 15 minutes set up. Next class goes for an hour and 15 minutes. So we have a few classes on Saturday and a few classes on Sunday. So 7 classes in all. That's where I'm at.
So that's a wonderful thing to know, and I will tell you, everybody on the board of the directors has been working very different different areas of this convention just so we can make it the best convention possible. I know this for a fact because I am also a Ohio Hunters Association board member. One of the key things about Keith is he knows what he's talking about when he's talking about doing these teachings, and he knows what he was looking for. And I'm really grateful that he took the opportunity to actually look through and find what he believes to be the best teachers for these time slots. You said every hour and 15 minutes, that gives them 15 minutes to tear down, right?
Correct.
So how many class?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
How many classes do we have on Saturday, and how many
on
classes
Saturday
do
we have
Sunday?
we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and on Sunday we have 3.
Okay. So that's 4 different people on Saturday, 3 different people on Sunday that give people lots of different opportunities to learn different things. I know that it will be posted, or it has been posted, who's going to be coming in, who's going to be teaching classes. That is a really exciting thing to be able to see different people. I've never had the opportunity to interact with some of these people. So as you're going through the classes, what are some of the classes and some of the people that you have going to be teaching?
All right. Well, Saturday, we start at 10 a.m. And so it'll go from 10 a.m. to 11:15. The first class will be taught by Alan Redmond. Now, Alan is very prophetic in lighting and sound, controllers, props, and effects. And one of the reasons we pulled him in is because we're trying to touch on different avenues of where the haunt industry is. Now, I couldn't get everybody that I wanted, but we got some pretty decent stuff in. So we're trying to do different, some different classes. Some are similar, some are not. But Alan is basically, he's been doing this quite some time. I'll give you understanding. He's giving you understanding of props and controllers, what their capabilities are, understanding different speakers and amplifiers and their capabilities, sound software to use for your sound effects, different lighting fixtures, the difference between high and low voltage and lighting, and all the pros and cons of that. He's very prophetic in all this, so he's somebody I think that we brought him because this will go for not just home haunters, but regular haunted attractions as well. And we just want to make sure we touch on different aspects of it. But the second class will be from 11:45 to 1. That'll be our big old president, Max Bryant. He's going to be teaching queue line acting along with Terry Rook. Now, Max has been doing this for about 11 years, and Terry's been doing it about 25 years. So they're going to give you like a hands-on training of what it takes to be in a queue line. Now, myself, being a queue line actor, I understand all the ins and outs of what that it takes. But it can be very daunting task. It's something that you should not have someone that's not a veteran be up front and doing that, because you need to know all the ins and outs and the aspects of what it takes. Knowing the story of the haunt, you got to have no jokes. You got to know your own character, how to feed off other characters, how to entertain, all that stuff. So I believe they're going to do a lot of that, and a lot of it's going to be hands-on and probably in costume. Then from 1:30 to 2:45, we have Harry Seibert. He's doing a mobile attraction to go into a brick and mortar class. Basically what he has, and I've known Harry for quite some time. He's a good actor. He's a good builder. He knows how to make props, but more than that, he just got into an inflatable haunt. So he uses that to travel around to promote his haunt, which he's going to eventually turn into a brick and mortar. So all his experience in that, he's going to be trying to relate to the people who are there. So that way, if you're a home haunt and you want to have an inflatable haunt, he's going to give you all the ins and outs on how to do it, and then transfer that into a regular haunt, because he's also a set designer and a set builder. In fact, he's very good at that. Then from 3:15 to 4:30, we have the great Matt Sill. He's an airbrush artist. I've known Matt for quite some time. His work is exquisite. He worked for the Goratorium in California. Excellent makeup artist. He's an excellent illustrator, tattooer, the whole works. But his airbrush skills are unmatched from as far as I'm concerned. I like what he does, and he's going to give you the ins and outs and the secrets and the trade secrets on how to do this with as many tips as they can in that hour and a half. And since it's the last class of the day, he might go a little over, which that'll be okay, because we're fine with that. And that would be the end of that Saturday class. So Sunday, we'll be starting again at 10 a.m. to 11:15. And this is Tommy Payton, Tommy's been in this for probably 40 years. I think he's he's coached and he's acted coach, and he's done lots of training over the years, mainly on character development. But I believe he's going to be able to help you be more successful in gaining who you want to be as far as an actor goes, developing your character, building it up. And so he's going to give you the art of acting, the do's and don'ts. And as we all know, there's many of those. From 11:45 to 1, we'll be having Matt Cole. Matt Cole's another guy I've known for quite some time. He's going to be teaching the social media for basics for haunted attractions. I, for one, I've been in many haunts. I know very little about the social media side of things. He's going to give you all the tips and tricks. He has built a business around this. He's also a vocal coach. So we've had him come in and teach on that before, and it's very enlightening to hear someone, because he also was in a Columbus radio station DJ, so he knows his stuff. He's been acting for, well, almost 20 years, I'd say, if not that. But I met him at the Scaratorium. He was a great actor, a great guy, and I know he's going to do his best to give you as much information as possible on how to take your haunt and build it up into the social media and give you the tips and tricks on that. And then the last class of the day will be 1:30 to 2:45. Will be the Art of Corpsing by Kenneth Baker. He's basically going to show you the materials and what to use to make like a skeleton, make it look decayed, other props and stuff like that. He's going to give you tips and tricks on how to do that. He's very knowledgeable in this. I've seen him in action before at one of our events, and it's different when you got a short amount of time. So he's going to do as much as he can. He's going to give you all the ins and outs of what to do, how to do it. And I think it's going to be a good time. A lot of hands-on stuff, I hope. And so, like I said, I've talked with all these guys, and most of them are pretty much on board with everything we're wanting to do. I already have people lined up for next year if we do it again. So, and hopefully by next year we can double these classes. So instead of having 7, we could have 14. So, but we'll see. I mean, it's all up to the prison where we're having it. And again, this is May 8th and 9th at the Mansfield Reformatory, or 8th, 9th, and 10th. And I think it's going to be good for a lot of people. The classes are pretty cheap, by understanding. And, you know, why not? You know, come on out, check it out. I think we're going to have a good show. We're going to have a lot of good vendors and a good costume party. So it's going to be able to show your wares. And we want you to come to be part of it, because it's going to be a lot of networking. We want you to show off your costumes. We want you to be able to have a good time, see some good vendors, and a lot of good product out there.
Right, absolutely. On the 8th is Friday, and what we got going on the 8th?
On the 8th, we will be at the Mohican Haunted Schoolhouse. Florence owns that with her husband, John, and they're opening it up to us. There is a discount that you can get if you're a OHA member. You just go onto their site and let them know that. There's a certain code that you can give them. But they're going to open it up, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be time ticketing for that. So they're going to go for so long. Then if they sell more tickets, they don't make space for that. But they want to make sure that everybody gets a new experience. They've been at this haunt for quite some time. Their 10-year anniversary was last year. It's a 4-story schoolhouse. Right now, by my understanding, I think they have around 40 to 45 actors already committed to it, and quite a few others. So it's a great haunt. It's a by the book place. I mean, they might be experimenting a little bit with this year, trying something new. So be ready for that. And but it's only like 20 minutes from the prison, and I've been there a few times. Like I said, last year I went and helped them with makeup. They got a really good crew, very professional, and the place is really, really good looking. I mean, they got a lot of cool stuff in there.
That's awesome. And Saturday, we have the show floor will be open, and then we have those wonderful 4 classes that you can get involved with. And then what else do we have on Saturday evening?
Well, Saturday evening, I think it starts at 7, I believe. We'll be having our costume ball. We will have food. We will have a costume contest, and there'll be a DJ. It'll be in the east wing of the prison, and we'll also have the center court where you can go out and talk amongst yourself. I mean, like I said, when we used to have these at the Midwest Hunters Convention, you know, our parties were about 3,000 to 4,000 people, and we're only expecting a smaller group this time. We're hoping we can build on that, but that party should last to about 10 o'clock, I believe, and it's going to be just a good time. Again, a place to show off, to network with people, get some pictures, get a little bit of food, and have a good time. I think it's going to be a bar, a paid bar. So you'll have drinks there as well. And, again, this is our first year back since 2016 or 2019, where it was before COVID hit. And the prison asked us to come back, which is a good thing. And so we're going to come back. We've already got, I think we've got close to 50 vendors showed up already that signed up. So that's even better. But the more the merrier. And we're just trying to give you the best for your buck. And I think it's going to be a great show. And I believe more than anything, I think we are, I've said this before, we're a group of haunters who are running a haunt convention for haunters. Our goal here is to uplift the entire Ohio Haunters community, not just our community, but other states as well, because people are looking at us for ideas on what we do and the community that we're building. And our whole thing is we want to make sure that you get good education, you have good prospects, you got good internet or a good networking. You also have a place where you can come, be with your friends, hang out, have a really good show. And we're just trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody to come and have a really good time. So I think overall, we're going to have a pretty good show because the people we got involved in this are all top quality. And I think it's going to be a really good time. And we hope that you come out.
It's one of the biggest things right now. You absolutely said it, and I love it. This is a convention that was asked for by haunters. It is put on by haunters for the haunters.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things right there. We want the people to come out. We want the people to really go through, and we want feedback. And that's one of the biggest things. Where can we fix something that we can? And if we go and we have this convention and it turns out to be really wonderful, we can make the next year a lot bigger. But we cannot do stuff if people don't take more interest in it and go through it. I know that tickets are on sale now for the ball. They're on sale for the actual show floor. There's a couple of different options there. And do you know if Mohicans got theirs up and running yet?
I do not know for sure, but I think they're getting it ready. I know they talked with Max about it, so they might be. I know I talked to her last night, and she said that she's trying to get everything up and running. So, but they're expected to do a really good show as well. And
Okay.
she's excited about it because when I first brought it up to her, she said, "Absolutely, I'm in." And so that's good for her. Again, they got a good quality haunt, but again, we're just trying to provide a lot of cool stuff. Even on Saturday, Blood Prison's going to be open, and so you'll be able to do that. And the Prison Week on itself is a major attraction on its own. Vic opened this place up to it, and it's an amazing place.
It's one of the wonderful things about here in Ohio. We're always excited to see what comes into our state. One of the biggest things that we're looking forward to is just seeing the pure vendor list when the full vendor list come out. I know 2 weeks ago we had a interview with Nikki. We talked about the vendors. Truly hoping that the vendors can be put out a little more, and people can actually go to see who's going to be there. But is there anything else Friday that you want to add to this? Any questions you got about it?
On Friday,
There's always things.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, my name is Friday.
Oh, well, hi, Friday.
There's always things that you wish haunters or those coming into the film knew about haunt classes that they normally don't. What is that thing that you wish that they would learn or could pick up?
Mainly, I want them to, if they're taking the class, I want them to come to because I want them to expect something out of it. I know for myself, when I go into a class and I'm looking at something. And I've taken other classes as well from many professionals, a lot of makeup classes. The good thing about that I expect is hands-on. I want them to walk in expecting to be able to walk out with some kind of knowledge that they didn't know before. And overall, I think that these teachers that we got coming in, the instructors, are, like I said, they're quality people. They've been in the industry for quite some time. They have the same mindset that as I do, is that when you come in, you want to learn something. You don't want to have an infomercial. You don't want to do all this, rigmarole about, well, if you buy this and you do this, like, no, I don't want that. We want to come in and learn something. So I think is that answering your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I'm just wondering things spot.
I've started looking at it differently now that I'm older. My 2 younger daughters, well, not younger, my 2 daughters have, started they've been looking at classes themselves online, and they have joined in on the 2 that have been done by the Haunters convention that we have seen. And they are walking in, these adults have done this for years. Let's learn. And that is something I hope that they're going in with. I want to learn, not I want to see what they did so I can prove I'm better.
Right.
Always go in with childlike wonder, and I've appreciated the ones that have been done by the Hunters Convention because the kids have been more interested in learning about haunts and how
Good.
to be a haunter.
Yeah. I mean, myself, I remember I did, and this is something I will relate to all my instructors, is don't count anybody out. I remember I did a class at Midwest Hunters Convention, and there was probably about 96 to 100 people in the class. And so I always go through this interview process of seeing who's in the room. Are you a haunt owner? Are you an actor? Are you a makeup artist? Are you a set designer, a builder, whatever? And then it goes, if you're an actor, okay, who does their own makeup, who doesn't, instructors, all that stuff. But then I would always paint somebody. And so I would call somebody up, and then they would get painted by me, and I'd show them, here's how you do a face in 5 minutes. And then once I do that, then somebody else comes up to get painted, and I pull somebody from the audience, or 2 or 3 people, to come up, and I give them a brush. I take a brush, I go, so I'll do one side, you do the other. And so when I'm doing that, I had a 12-year-old girl raise her hand up, and I kind of dismissed her. And I felt bad about it. So about halfway through the class, I was like, hey, why don't you come up here for a second? And so she came up, and I said, here, take the brush. And so we did something really quick. And after the fact, her dad came up and said, man, that was excellent. Thank you so much. So don't count anybody out, I would say, more than anything, because you never know who you're really talking to. Because when I was at our last convention, we had Leonard Pickle come in to teach. And for whatever reason, he was about 15 minutes late. So they called me and said, hey, can you help the class out? So I did the same thing. It was about how to create a home haunt. And so I walked up and I started asking the group who does what. So I'm walking down the room, and then there's a guy, I think he was about 12 or 13 at the time, and his dad. So I looked at his dad, I said, so what do you do? He goes, oh, it's not me, it's him. And I'm like, oh, his name was Seth. So we talked for quite some time, and we still talk to this day. And then we surprised him, my group. We went to his home in Dayton on his Halloween night where he had a home haunt, and we surprised him there. We went up in full costume and helped him out that night. But it's just the fact that you had a kid who's super interested in what we're doing, and he's the future of what we do. So we want to make sure that we teach our kids, we teach our young ones, everybody about this is how you can do it. Because in my day, probably in your day, I don't know, we didn't have what we have here. When I first started out with makeup, mine was Elmer's glue and cornflakes and just gluing it to my face. And then I got into learning how to do Dick Smith stuff, and I was able to call Dick Smith and talk to him. So I learned how to do professional makeup. And but back then, a phone call for 3 minutes was like $10, $15. So you didn't do that much. Now we have this internet thing and internet.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
That shows you how old I am. But what we do here is with this tool that we have, this one by itself, we can reach thousands of people and we can teach what we know. And I'll tell you guys what the Nick and Brian Wolf taught me. They said, we want to teach you to be better than us so that you can teach someone to be better than you. And that's my guide for all we do here. I think that as the Ohio Hunters grow, our association gets bigger and bigger, and we have a bigger reach to a lot more artists, makeup artists, builders, set designers, costumers, actors, hot owners, the whole aspect of things. Our ideal is to build our community to the best that it can be. And so we have these young people that we bring them in and we show them the trade secrets on how to do it. Because we all know that if you have a rough week and you go out and you scare that first person, you get that adrenaline rush and that makes your whole week just fade away. So as hunters, it's a whole other aspect of things. Some people don't get it until they do it. And I'm the same way with my makeup. When somebody sits down in front of me and I paint them, and then the look on their face when they actually see it, because I'm known for my speed. I can do a face in about 5 minutes to 3 minutes, and then they look at themselves going, holy mackerel. But my thing is, I learn from the pros. I mean, learn from Pat Sure, learn from Nick and Brian Wolf, Marcelo Murad, Matt Seal, Matt Seal, and others. And I think that it's a testament to the person who's going to be doing what we do. And again, that's why as an association, we're trying our best to give the best information possible, trying to pull in the vendors that we think will help us out. And some might be just knickknacks, some might be masks. I've got my own mask company coming. And so it's going to be interesting to see where this leads. And if our educational part of this can help a young person become who we are and better, especially with the tools that they have today, I think we're going to have a really good time. And I think this is going to be, like I said, I really believe that this show is going to be unique. We're not a trade show. Trade shows are generally built to build in all the vendors and give the vendors all the money and all that other stuff. And we want our vendors to make money and we want them to have a good time, but we also want it to be a cash and carry. They can come in, you can talk with them. It's not so big that you're going to get lost and everything. We got 2 sections that you can go around a circle. And I would suggest to anybody, if you're coming to a convention, come in, sign up, walk around, talk with people. Don't go buying everything right off the bat. Now, sometimes you may want to do that because it could go quickly. Last time we did this, we had 2 or 3 vendors sell out of everything. So if you're going to get it, I would get it quickly. But make sure you see everything first and have a good budget for yourself. But save some money to come to the show, come to the party, go visit Mohican, take the classes, and just really enjoy yourself. Because we're hunters for hunters. And our thing is we want everybody to have a great time. And I think we will.
One of the things I know we haven't touched on with you or Nikki is that we will have food trucks at this event and they will be outside. And that is wonderful to know that there is going to be food available on the grounds.
Yeah.
I like one of the things that you said, and I just want to put out there, it is great to see what someone has done. But I don't look at someone and say, I can't wait to see what you've done. You always tell them, I can't wait to see what you will do.
Right.
And that's one of the major things with the youth, the ones that are just starting up, the ones that think that they might be interested at this industry at all. We want to see what you guys will do. We want to see how you have modified yourself to make yourself better and better and better every single opportunity you have gotten. This is a convention that gives you that information, that gives you that availability, that you guys can go to this convention, see what vendors, and we're going to have some big vendors, some small vendors, some this and that at this convention, which is so much of a great thing. Um, One thing that you're not going to see at this convention, as we say that this might be a smaller convention, we are not going to have the Walmart. We are not going to
Correct.
have the Home Depot. We are not going to have your Lowe's. Those things are not what we are, and we want you guys to come. We want you guys to see what's there. And some of these classes will teach you possibly how to make things better than Lowe's, Menards, Walmart. And that is a far better tool than like what you think.
Correct. We want you to come in and please ask questions. Not just to the instructors. If you see me walking around or Pyle or Max or whoever, if you got questions about the association, ask. If you got questions about the classes and the instructors, ask. Ask questions in the class. But make sure more than anything that we are your main focus. We want you to have as much information as possible, and we want you to grow as a haunter. And I think more than anything, it's going to be to the point where we want you to have every aspect, every possibility that you can given to you. And with that, we hope that everything we say or do just uplifts you, uplifts the industry. And it's like I said, the more I teach and the more I give you, the more you're going to teach yourself and teach others. And not all together builds a great industry, and it builds up the Honda industry. And so it supports everybody that we have. I know sometimes I talk in circles, but it's basically, I always say this, even when I'm teaching, is the fact that when you're in elementary school and they say 1 + 1 is 2, and they don't ever say it again. No, they keep repeating it till you get it. So some of these instructors might do that. I know I'm guilty of that. I will teach something and I will teach it over and over and over, and I'll keep repeating myself sometimes because I want you to get it. The whole point of this is basically saying that our intentions are for the best for our industry, to grow our industry, to grow people, and to give them as much ammunition that they need to become a better haunter. And I will say this too. If you are a haunter in this business and you have someone like a veteran that comes up to you and says, "Hey, great job. You did a good job." Don't get a big head. Always remember there's always somebody better than you and always somebody worse than you. But the moment you come in and you think that you know everything, you might as well walk out the door, because that's not serving any purpose. Our purpose is to entertain. And this is something I come to grips with myself. A couple of years ago, I was painting in my little area, and you're painting 30 to 50 people a night, and you're going as fast as you can, and you get tired and you get bent out of shape, and you're going to go act, but you don't feel like it, or whatever your excuses are. Just remember that when you're doing this, and this is what I had to tell myself, I'm not doing this for myself. I'm not doing this for the actor. I'm doing this for the public that walks in. So when they leave my area, I always have a mirror for them to look at themselves and say, what you see is what they see. How you act is what they see. It's not what I see or what you see. I said, they're paying for you to scare them, not to entertain them, not to be funny, but your job is to go out and give the best show possible and give them as much of a scare that you can. Be bigger than yourself, badder than yourself, make yourself stronger and louder. Use your voice, use your body language each time you perform, and no matter what it is that you do. And if I don't care if you clean the toilets, do it to your best of your ability. If you're running the haunt, do the best of your ability. Your job there is to scare the public. That's what they're paying for. So remove yourself out of that and put your best self forward, because our job is to become haunters. And to be a haunter, our job is to scare people. And if you do it well enough, and the things that scare you, use that in your head, and always create your character, and every year make it better, make it more creepier, get a better backstory, and not just yours, but learn everybody else's. I know I'm off topic. I always get off topic.
No, that's perfectly fine, and that's great advice, because honestly, as I was thinking about a couple things coming into the show, and trust me, I think about a lot of things coming in these shows. This is the convention that if you are just starting out and you're just trying to figure out the basics, some of the cool stuff, some of the stuff that you didn't know about, this is how you encourage people. This is how you get to know. Because honestly, the number one question I get is, hey, I'm thinking about starting a haunt. What should I know? My number one response is run.
Yep. Everybody thinks.
Oh, no, go ahead.
But everybody thinks that you can open up a door and have people come in and pay you, and you get a couple of people scared. The number one thing that we have trouble with is getting actors. People, it's not the fact that some people they're paid actors. My always thought is, if you got somebody walks in the door, they have passion for it or they don't. If they don't, find out why. And if they're there for a reason. Are they there for a paycheck, Christmas money? Because most people think that working at a haunt is a job, but it's basically just a paid hobby. But when you come into it, and I've had this with my past many haunts, is the fact that you get a body that comes in, all they want to do is get a paycheck and sit down. And then everybody complains about said person. So instead of complaining about them, if you're a veteran, take them under your wing and show them your passion and what you do. And once you do that, you can take that body and turn it into an asset. My job is, as a trainer, is when I come into a haunt, my job is to take every person in there and I want them to become a marketable character. If you want your name on the billboard or your face on the billboard, your face on the flyers or cards or on the face of the haunt, then be better, be stronger, come in with a passion. And I got in trouble for this too, especially with my wife, is the fact that I talk Halloween all year long. It's Christmas, I'm talking Halloween. It's Valentine's Day, I'm talking Halloween. And I'm always I'm talking about how to increase a character and make it better. And I have people still call me like, what about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? And I'm like, the problem is, it's not what I think. It's what your passion is. What do you want to do? What do you want to portray? Who do you want to be? What's that inner monster that's in you? How do you want that to come out? And how do you want to relay that to people? Because I always say, when you're in character, you got to stay in character all the time. But more than that is you got to know everybody else's characters as well. So you can promote other people through the haunt. And the more you do that, you get that story. And then once you create your cues for when you're in your scene, they walk in, okay, you got somebody in your scene for 15 seconds. So you need to make a noise or a sound or verbalize some line to let the next person know that these people are going to come in your scene in the next 5 minutes. But also, you also have to have at least 5 different scares. So if somebody walks in your scene, you're going to get caught sometime. You're going to have your back to them or whatever. So you need to have all those 5 things ready to go. So, you're already hidden. You've got a drop scare. There's a whole bunch of different kinds of scare techniques. Jump scares, you got hide in plain sight, a distraction scare, you got creepers, you have, above and below, all kinds of different ways of doing it. But you have to come into it with the aspect of knowing what you want your character to be, and does it, above all, does it complement the haunt and does it complement the scene? Because you can come in as a medical doctor and, okay, the only place we have for you is a medical place. But if you can develop a character that can be switched and go into another scene, because one of the things that as haunt owners, what we want more than anything is a character that can come in, or a person comes in and go, where do you need me tonight? Instead of saying, well, I'm only going to do this. And one thing I will say, and I know I step on a lot of toes when I say this, no matter who you are or how long you've been in this industry, you can be replaced. When you think that their scene will not go without you, you're wrong. I can trade scenes with anybody. I'm not a pirate guy, but I've done pirates before, and I've had a sheriff pull a gun on me because I jumped out at him. So I'm like, hey, I'm a pretty good pirate. But more than anything, it's just basically being the best that you can be, and we want to teach you how to do that. And that's why I say, even with this podcast, if you get on here and you have questions, ask, because we don't know what your questions are until you actually say them. So we will make sure that you just be vocal about it. Let us know what you're looking for, what you need, and we'll give you every question we can, and or every possibility that you can use. But more than that, if I don't know the answers, I will find them for you. And I know enough people where I can get into it and find out who they are, and I can get you the answer that you need. If not me, at least some people in the association will too as well, including our instructors.
And that's one of the wonderful things. We were talking about the convention, and when we were talking about the convention, I want to point out that it is May 9th and 10th. There is a activity going on for the 8th, which is Friday. I know that right now we're at March 25th of 2026, and Keith has given you so much information, not just on the convention, but a lot of different things that a lot of hunters should actually memorize and get it in their heads. And that's a great thing. So even if you're watching this video down the road and you just came across it, it still is one of those things that you still have the opportunity to look at it and say, hey, perhaps the convention's still going on. If not, Keith, you gave us a whole bunch of wonderful information for a lot of people to think about. Not just the older generations, but the newer generations that are going to come into this. My goal, without a doubt, is to train as many hunters as I can so that they can go out and move away and still be able to do something in the hunt industry. And that's one of the biggest things. This hunt house industry here in the state of Ohio is so incredible. I know that Texas Friday, yours is pretty awesome too, but your numbers don't even compare to ours.
No, but that's why I put a haunt up here as my background. We're proud of our haunts, even though some of them are like out an hour to 2 hours apart. They work hard. The line actors are great. How they build their scenes. I have yet to find a haunt that I didn't like. I can say that some scares were better than others, but I can't say that they didn't do the best job that they could, and I wouldn't go back.
Right. So one of the things I will say, everything that Keith has brought up has been a wonderful thing to think about if you're just getting in the haunted house industry. If you've been in the haunted house industry, I know my lead character that I do at my haunt doesn't always play nice in other haunts, but that doesn't mean that some of the other characters I've developed can't go to other haunts. In fact, in March next month, on Friday the 13th, I'll be at Haunted Town Hall, and we're going to see if I can make people to the point that they're fearful to come into my room because I'm going to be in a kitchen. But without a doubt, Keith, is there anything else that you want to address on?
Just the fact that if you are interested in becoming a hunter, if you've only been in this for 20 minutes or 20 years, you can always learn something new. There's always something that strikes your fancy. And somebody somewhere, especially in our industry, it's worth the time to come network with other people, promote it, always talk up, never talk down. That's to other actors, to other haunts. Always promote everybody's haunt. I'll say it like this, and I've always said this. Haunts are like ice cream. If we're all chocolate, it'd be boring. So it's good to have the rocky road and the strawberry and the vanilla, because once you get into something and you may not be your flavor, it may not be what you're looking for. It may not be extreme enough, or it might be too family friendly. It might be too loud or too light or too dark, or they may not have everything that you're looking for. But take the time to go through and look at what's there. And I've been in some really small haunts and I've been in some really, really big ones. And you go through, and my job is always to look at the aspect of what are they doing, how good is it, how much time did this person put in this room, and always, no matter what, I always scream on purpose. I'll compliment them. I always make sure that when I'm leaving the room, hey, good job, guys, because as haunters, we need to be building up each other and not tearing each other down. And it's good for the industry and it's good for people. And the last aspect of all this is if you're in a haunted house and you got a kid that comes in and daddy or mommy's trying to make them a man or a woman, don't terrify the kid. You know, if you don't feel like it, back off, because if you terrify that kid to the point where they're screaming, you just basically cast away a future patron or a future haunter, because they're so scared they don't want to ever come back, and that gives you a bad, really gives you a bad reputation. Now the extreme haunts, that's what they do. They're known for that. That's what they do, and they gather a lot of people for that. But just because we don't touch you, we might say we won't touch you, but we will touch you in the dark because it's dark, but we won't grab you. But there are some places that will grab you and they will do things to you. So expect that. But more than anything, just trust and understand that we've been doing this long enough where we want the best for you as an actor, as a makeup artist, as a builder, as a haunt owner. And again, come to the show, check out some stuff, and just have a good time with it. And if you see me, say hey, and I'll be glad to talk with you about anything you want to talk about. As Max says, I'm the encyclopedia of haunting. So I know quite a bit of stuff about it. I've done about everything. And I enjoy being able to teach somebody, because that's the whole point of all this, is to build us up as a community. That's about it.
Friday, you got anything else?
And please do not discount the elementary school librarian, because they can show up at a place that you never expected, and you and your kid have a great time at their haunted attraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the unexpected people. So always, please try and give it a chance.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do is, Keith, thank you very much for coming in and talking with us about not just the convention that's coming up, but really picking into your brain, because, man, I have not been able to really pick into that brain. So anytime that you want to spew your wonderful knowledge all over this network, you are more than welcome to come back in and do another show with us.
Okay, that'd be great.
Okay, but right now I'm going to go ahead and just let everybody know that we're going to continue to talk until the Ohio Haunters Association, the Ohio Haunters Convention comes. We're going to have shows on and off. We're going to have, I just scheduled Max to be on one of the episodes. So he's going to be in on one of the episodes. We're also going to have different haunters, haunt owners. Maybe perhaps we can even get a couple vendors that want to showcase some of their stuff.
Yep.
Because not every vendor is the same. And we wanted to make sure at the convention that we didn't have all the same stuff. So we have been really paying attention to what everybody has, because no one wants 20 vendors that are doing tumblers. The tumblers have come and it's been great, but at some point we gotta make sure that we don't get invaded. You know what? I think at some point I have nightmares about tumblers. Just saying. But yeah. Like I said, different haunts are going to be open throughout the United States for the next holiday, and the next holiday is St. Patty's Day. And after that, you better get ready, because I'm sure Rotting Tail is coming back. So don't forget, St. Patrick's Day and Easter opens up haunts once again. I know that Hell's Dungeon down in Dayton is going to do around the 420 celebration once again. So I know that one's coming up. I know that if you are going to go to Forest of Terra, man, I can't even remember their name right now. There's haunts during the summer that will be opening up and just trying to get in and trying to get people to come in there and see what they're going to do. So don't just look at it and say that Halloween is the only time that a haunt. No, haunts go way past Halloween. And it doesn't have to be Michael Myers. It doesn't have to be Jason Voorhees. It doesn't have to be Leatherface. Come up with your own character. Kind of get a good feel of what brings you to life. I know for the Saint or Valentine's Day, I did my favorite one, which is Honey Glaze. He absolutely loves smearing hot sauce down his shirt and asking you if you would like to have a scratch and sniff. And some haunts, that is what they like to do, is make people feel very uncomfortable. And if they ain't going to totally make you drop on the ground, they're going to make you question why you came through. And that's a great thing, because on the Friday the 13th, I am making my own dog food. Yep. So,
Nice.
going to be munching out of a dog bowl. So, yes, please go out, support your local haunted houses. If you've ever thought about being a haunt actor, now's the time to start looking around and seeing who's around you and trying to figure out how you can talk to them and be a haunt actor. There's a lot of training classes that are coming up for haunts. I know our appreciation is going to be in the middle of the summer this year. But before the middle of summer, I've actually got to plant the sunflowers. So my haunt does have corn and sunflowers in it, and I need to get the seeds to get them down in the ground. So that is what I wanted to talk about on this episode. Friday, do you have anything else? I think she froze. Keith, you got anything else?
Nope. I think we covered quite a bit of it. You know me.
What did you say? Because it cut out.
I said, is there anything else Friday would like to add before we leave?
Oh. Add, geez, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to haunt. Thank you for taking the time to train haunters. Thank you for giving my kids an outlet.
Good. And like I said, if they have questions, just email me or text me or whatever. And I'm more than welcome to answer any questions about anything. And like I said, my mask company will be there. I own Ultimatum Mask, and it's basically latex and burlap. And it's just something I saw at a convention. I'm like, I could do that. And so we're gonna really sell everything for pretty much a big discounted price. And because that's another thing, you can come to the show and talk to some of the vendors, because some of these vendors might be bringing stuff that scratched and sniffed, broke, whatever. They're just trying to get rid of stuff. So always look at a possibility, because the good thing a hunter can do is make something out of nothing. And that's what we do. So again, thank you for having me on. I appreciated this, and I would love to come back. It's a good time. And you both are doing a great job.
Oh, thank you very much, Keith, there. So we're going to go ahead and close out this wonderful episode. And right before we close it out, I know that we've got some commercials. I said we would play the commercials. So we're going to get these commercials out of the way, and then as soon as that's done and over with, we're done. So,
all right.
Bye, everybody.
See you. Thanks for coming.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh. And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorking Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brick.
You can listen to Retro Reductibus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
Hey everyone, I'm Maximus Christian Bryant, President of the Ohio Haunters Association, and you are watching Chainer's Haunted Secrets on the Owlite Network. And I wanted to invite you all to come see the Ohio Haunters Convention on May 9th and 10th in 2026 at the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. See you there.
See, the guy is so happy about the convention. I'm telling you, that's why he's